Deep within the untamed reaches of the archipelago's oldest forests, a legend persists that defies both biological logic and rational explanation. This is the story of the nine-headed specter, a guardian spirit bound to a gnarled, ancient tree that has stood for centuries. Local villagers avoid this sector of the woods, claiming the air grows heavy and the temperature drops sharply as one approaches. While skeptics dismiss it as a mere campfire tale, the consistency of the reports over generations suggests something far more complex. We begin our investigation into the anatomy of a haunting, exploring the intersection of nature and the unknown.
The tree itself is a botanical anomaly, often identified as a sprawling banyan or a prehistoric fig. Its roots don't just sit in the soil. They seem to crawl across the earth like petrified limbs. From an analytical perspective, the site's atmosphere is defined by silence. Birds do not nest in its branches, and insects seem to avoid the immediate radius of its canopy. This environmental exclusion zone is the first indicator that we are dealing with a phenomenon that alters the local ecosystem. Eyewitnesses describe the bark as feeling unnaturally cold, even under the heat of the midday sun, suggesting a localized thermal anomaly.
But it is the entity itself that commands the most terror. The nine-headed ghost is not described as 9 separate entities, but as a single towering torso with 9 distinct heads emerging from the neck and shoulders. Each head is said to possess its own personality and expression, ranging from agonizing grief to predatory hunger. In many accounts, the heads do not speak. Instead, they emit a discordant hum that causes intense nausea and vertigo in those who hear it. The visual of 9 faces staring from the darkness of the branches has become a recurring motif in the collective nightmares of the region.
Historically, the origins of this haunting are tied to a series of tragic events dating back to the pre-colonial era. Local historians suggest the tree was once the site of a mass ritual or a tragic accident involving 9 individuals who were lost to the forest. Over time, their spirits are believed to have fused with the flora, creating a composite entity that protects the land from outsiders. This concept of composite hauntings is rare in paranormal studies, making this case a significant point of interest for those tracking how collective trauma can manifest into a localized legend that survives for centuries. The psychological impact on the surrounding community cannot be understated. Those who live near the forest edge speak of the pull, an inexplicable urge to walk toward the tree during the new moon. This suggests a form of psychic magnetism often associated with high-stress paranormal environments. We interviewed several elders who claimed that to look into all 9 pairs of eyes at once is to lose one's sense of self. They describe a feeling of being deconstructed by the entity's gaze, a psychological phenomenon that researchers might categorize as a form of mass hysteria or extreme sensory overload induced by fear.
The behavior of the entity is reported to be passive until the boundary of the tree's shadow is crossed. Once inside the perimeter, witnesses describe the heads beginning to move in a synchronized serpentine fashion. They do not attack physically, but rather project a sense of overwhelming dread. Some reports mention the heads detaching and floating within the branches, though they never leave the tree's immediate vicinity. This territorial nature suggests that the ghost is bound to the biological life of the tree, creating a symbiotic relationship between the spiritual and the botanical that is truly unique in ghost lore.
During the colonial period, several European explorers attempted to document the tree, dismissing the local fears as superstition. Journals found years later described nights of unending whispers and the sighting of multiple pale faces watching from the heights. One specific account from 1892 mentions a surveyor who attempted to mark the tree for removal. He was found the next morning in a state of catatonia, unable to speak. His hair reportedly turned white overnight. While likely an exaggeration of the time, these accounts add a layer of historical weight to the contemporary sightings we see today.
Modern paranormal investigators have attempted to use technological means to capture evidence of the 9-headed figure. Results are consistently inconclusive, but intriguing.
Electronic voice phenomena, or EVPs, captured near the tree often contain 9 distinct frequencies overlapping one another, creating a wall of white noise that sounds remarkably like a crowd of people whispering in unison. Thermal imaging often shows 9 distinct heat signatures, or rather cold spots, hovering around the main trunk, even when no physical presence is visible to the naked eye. This data suggests a concentrated energy field that defies standard atmospheric patterns.
The 9-headed ghost serves as a potent reminder of the mysteries that still reside in the dark corners of our world. Whether it is a true spectral entity or a powerful tulpa created by the collective belief of the local population, its presence is felt deeply by those who encounter it. It stands as a sentinel of the past, a warning of what happens when the lines between life, death, and nature become blurred. As long as the tree stands, the legend will continue to grow, its roots sinking deeper into the earth, and its 9 heads watching from the shadows of the canopy.
In concluding our analysis, we must consider the possibility that some legends are better left unproven. The 9-headed specter of the haunted tree is a testament to the endurance of folklore in the modern age. It challenges our understanding of reality and forces us to look closer at the shadows in the woods. If you ever find yourself in the deep forests and stumble upon a clearing where the birds do not sing and the trees have 9 faces, remember that some boundaries are not meant to be crossed. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the heart of the unknown. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.